Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at Kentucky Derby contender Messier. And Mike, when this horse won his maiden in his second lifetime start, he was so good that we wondered how could he have possibly lost his career debut at Los Alamitos. He showed that much star potential in the maiden win. Well, he's done some very good things since the maiden win and looms a strong contender in the Derby. Let's go back to the Robert B. Lewis, his first start as a 3-year-old. Now he's trained by Bob Baffert for this race, and he catches a short and hungry field. He wins off the screen, and this is what we saw in the maiden race, that star potential.
Yeah, he just absolutely throttles this field as easy as you want to see him do it in fast time, and he gets the big figure for it. All the things that you thought he was capable of, Dan. You know, in between the maiden win and this, he had also looked really good winning the 7 furlong Bob Hope as well. But then there's also the Los Al Futurity, which is much more like his debut that we didn't like, Dan. It's like, how did this horse? How could he look so good at times and look so mediocre at others?
And you could argue, well, maybe it was Los Alamitos, but here is his final prep for the Kentucky Derby, the Santa Anita Derby, and he's going to get beaten again by his very talented stablemate Taba. Messier did do a lot of work in this race, Mike. He battled it out with a very fast horse, Forbidden Kingdom. He put that horse away. He won the duel. He lost the war. I think that race sets him up for the Derby very well. He's going to be forwardly placed. Your thoughts on the Santa Anita Derby?
I thought he ran fine in there. He did. I guess it was sort of an unenviable task in some ways, Dan, to have to sort of keep after Forbidden Kingdom on the pace. He wasn't dueling with that horse, but he was, sort of keeping him within range up the backstretch, and they were moving right along. That pace was not slow. And then he, just sort of took over ahead of his stablemate there, Taba. But you saw there in the replay, Dan, his stablemate, very rangy, very lightly raced, very talented, just sort of overwhelmed Messier at the end of that race. This horse ran fine in there. He did not run as well as Taba did.
What do you do with a horse like Messier in the Derby? There are times when he looks so brilliant that you're thinking he could be a superstar. And then there are races where you look at him and say, boy, he can be had any day and maybe twice on Saturday.
Yeah, personally, I could never take too short a price on him because at the end of the day, Dan, I just don't really trust him that much. I've been impressed by him a couple of times along the way here, but there have also been some races of his that I just don't get at all. And I understand that the first 2 losses of his career both came at Los Al, and maybe there's something too that I hate looking at races that way. But maybe he just doesn't, show up with his best stuff over that track. I don't know. But even if that's the case, Dan, I mean, how could you trust him at a short price shipping all the way across the country to race at Churchill Downs?
In the Derby, he'll be ridden by John Velasquez. He'll be saddled by Tim Yakteen. Are you concerned about the distance? The Santa Anita Derby was his first race past a mile and a 16th. He understandably got tired given the race flow. You look at his pedigree and you shouldn't think a mile and a quarter would be an issue by Belmont Stakes winner Empire Maker.
Yeah, that was, not really one of my concerns with this horse. He's bred by Samson Farm. There's plenty of distance in his pedigree. I'm not really worried about how far this horse wants to go. I'm just, more worried about whether he'll show up with one of his good races in Kentucky.
Race flow in the Derby. Messier likes to be forwardly placed and has been in all 3 of his 2-turn races. While he did come from off the pace in winning the Bob Hope at 7/8 of a mile, we've seen these California horses in the past. They like to show speed on Derby Day, and I would think that Messier is going to try to find a forward position. If Classic Causeway does indeed run in the Derby, it looks like that horse would be a major speed, and I think John Velasquez would love having Messier sitting off that horse, considering that horse is coming off of a clunker performance.
Yeah, and that horse hasn't run a fast race yet either, that he might actually turn out to be a nice target for a horse like Messier or maybe for somebody else. I think he's going to go forward in this race. I don't think he necessarily has to be on the lead. To be honest with you, Dan, if he showed up on Derby Day in a race where I just didn't like him and didn't use him at all, and I saw him make the early lead, I'd be pretty afraid.
What price do you think is fair for Messier, assuming as of right now all the major contenders run, coming off the loss in the Santa Anita Derby, beaten by Taba, and of course the losses at Los Alamitos, which you're not fans of?
Yeah, I mean, to me, he's got to be one of the horses taking money. One of the top 4 or 5 horses as far as the wagering goes. Again, I don't necessarily trust him at any kind of a short price, Dan. But I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be one of those. He has plenty of talent.
He has the talent to win a race like the Derby, and he has the figures. Buyers of 99 and 103 in his last 2 races. The question is, will Messier put it all together under Johnny V in the first Saturday in May? I expect him to be right in the thick of things when they turn into the stretch.